Hello there guys, my name is Jay or the A and welcome back to another episode of the Empyrion Spotlights, where today we are looking at the FX-Flux small vessel by SuperKilln. Now this thing is a very strange looking beast. It's in kind of his experimental branch of different things that he's been trying, and I actually think it works really well. Now this vessel has two different variants. They're just purely colour variations. So we've got this one, which is the standard, and then we do have the chrome, which is like a nice shiny sort of blues and greys. Now this does have some really intricate and strange features about it, and one of them is the fact that it has a large amount of exposed thrusters, but they are kind of covered by some sort of paneling, which does help protect them a little bit, but again doesn't really give too much protection. But this thing is just designed to be a bit of a all-round survival craft. It does have a top cockpit which is for main piloting, and then we sort of do have this cockpit here which is just for sort of you know, if you want to be flying it just every so often, you can sort of jump in there, fly it around, and then if you did want to say arm the guns or whatever, or have a gunner at the top, you can have somebody up here pew-pewing things in front of you. Now it is a very offset design. The wing design on the left obviously doesn't reflect the right, and I think it really works. It's a really strange, intricate, different looking vessel, and I really am getting into these very asymmetrical designs, and it's really refreshing to see, and it kind of opens up your eyes to new and interesting things. Now on the wings we do have access to some of the pipes. We do also have this access underneath, which is the same. Again, it just details the pipes that you can see there. And yeah, if we sort of turn our jetpack off now and just walk around, we will open up to the front. Now what this has is it has automatic ramps, automatic lights, etc. And the reason why that is just power saving as well as usability. It does have an O2 tank and a fridge here for hunting, etc. So you can fill up on the go. So rather than, you know, you're low on oxygen, need to run back, fill up. You know, it's either that or you go inside the ship, try and fumble around, find it, refill. So yeah, let's go inside. Now please bear in mind the attention to the different textures and colours that we have going on as we move on into the internals of the vessel. Now this is the internals. It's huge. There's a lot of space in here, and it's really busy, to say this. I like busy designs like this. I think it might be a little bit too much at times, but you know, you sort of struggling, your eyes are sort of struggling to really gauge what is what. But I really do like some of the details in here. So we've got the door which opens up as they get to this point here, which is very useful. Of course it's not as useful if I say went to my locker, which might be right at the very end, while I'm sort of in space and I accidentally open the door. Now once force fields defend against bullets, that would be great, but of course at the moment force fields do not block bullet fire. So obviously if you're trying to sort your suit out and you've got enemies just outside and they're running up to you, you know, they could shoot you and things could go south. So yeah, and we've got a really cool sort of seating position here for passengers, etc. We have this hatch. Now this is a dropping hatch, so if we hit this switch, it opens up a nice hatch that you can jump out of, and the hatch just allows quick, you know, drop off of people. So if you are raiding a base or something of the sort, you can do that. You can yeah. I mean, one thing that does happen when I flick this switch is if I flick it, what am I walking on here? That's the door. Okay, so the door, because the door opens up into a somewhat of a walkway, yeah, there we go. But no, I really like that idea, because with the survival mode that they have as a sort of a game, you can drop out of the ship with your jetpack and sort of, you know, hover and then land, and that's basically what this is for. It's just for drop troops to drop out the back while you're flying, and you can, you know, drop in, kill some enemies before this thing turns around and does a sweep and blows everything up. So we've got our spaces for warp fuel, etc. We've also got some covers that you can cover these up with, just to make it look a bit neater, you know, just to tidy it up a little bit. We do have just some, oh, There's a passenger seat in there, so there are some passenger seats. I never noticed that before. And we have a little kitchen here with some fridges and some other odds and ends. And we've got some storage at the top again, which we can close off quite neatly and tidily. I do wish we could kind of close the kitchen off, but that's just a minor thing. I just like to encase everything, just to close it all up so nothing could move in transit and stuff. But that's just me. So I mean, as we come up to the sort of one of the cockpits, we have the one above us, which is sort of the main one. It's got the most visibility for sort of flying the ship around. You can obviously see your enemies above you, etc. I mean, I've just actually jumped out of that by sitting in it, which may be a problem, may not be. It's a small bug of Empyrions, but I can get over that. Now, this is the secondary seat. Now, I like this seat because it makes you feel really, really welcome at home. I mean, you can see the engines working beside you. There is there are some buttons here. Well, there are some things here which it does say minimum thrust, max thrust. I don't even think that those actually correspond. I'm not sure. But no, I really like the detail that we've got here. I mean, there's another keypad down there and some other odds and ends, and we've got some moving parts outside. And yeah, let's fly it, because that's what we're all here for. Now, it flies very much like the Twilight from Star Wars, the Clone Wars. Is it the Clone Wars? The Clone Wars animated series with Ahsoka Tano and stuff like that. And it very much flies like the Twilight, which was a very similar design ship where it's got like one long wing out the side, but then it's got this main body which was quite fat and chunky. And you know, it does fly unbelievably well for what it is. You do kind of get a bit of a lag and delay from tilting left to right and rotating, but you know, for what it is a big ship, it is quite heavy, and I do love that cluster of thrusters on the back and just how they burst into life as you're flying. It really does look the part. And no, I would really, really, you know, love to use a ship like this in a survival or something like that, because it would just be a really, really cool, intricate, interesting ship to fly. And ships like this, well, some ships like this can be very, very usable in terms of carrying the cargo, having all the life support systems you require, but they might not be good at firing or killing things with the guns on them. And you know, it's something that's really intrigued me about designs like this, because it's just, you know, I don't know, it's one of those things. They look cool and they fly cool and they have all the bits, but they may not fly well. I don't know how this one would fare, to be fair, with enemy vessels. I think it might be a bit too lumberous. I don't think it is actually designed for fighting anyway, so you know. But I really do think those side bits, those side winglet things on the side would help to deflect some of the incoming fire. Obviously the first thing that's going to get hit is the main bulk of the ship, because it's quite a fat ship. So yeah, that wing, that secondary wing, would probably be the second thing that would get hit first, just because it's quite long and out there. And I really do like the detail to this. I mean, just all the textures and all the guns that are slapped on it, and it just looks fantastic. And there is like some symmetry to it, but then there's a massive element of asymmetry in here, and it's great. So yeah, that was the FX-Flux, sorry, by SuperKilln. If you guys have enjoyed this ship, go and check it out on the workshop. I will leave a link to both versions. They are on his workshop, so you can find them both either way. But yeah, go and check it out. It's a really, really cool craft. If you want something very, very different and interesting to fly, something that might prove a bit more of a challenge to fly around, I would seriously recommend this, because it is just, you know, a big lump of cool. And I would seriously love to fly this around in a survival and really test it out. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't, you know the button is. Comment for anything you want me to check out in the Empyrion workshop, and I will see you guys later. Peace!